I died choking on my own blood in the Hindu Kush mountains. My father's voice echoing in my helmet comms. You're too weak for this. Nova. Always were. The bullet that ended me wasn't from the Taliban. It was from the sniper he hired to make sure I failed spectacularly, burying his dirty little secret forever. But death's a lousy editor. It hit rewind. And here I am. 18 again. Heart pounding in my chest like a war drum. Staring at the same goddamn mirror in my Annapolis dorm room. 2 weeks before graduation. Knowing exactly how this betrayal plays out. The first thing I did when I woke up in this body, my body, fresh and unbroken, was vomit. Not from the disorientation of looping back a decade, but from the rage boiling up like napalm in my veins. I'd been 28. A decorated SEAL lieutenant, leading a Black Ops team into that godforsaken valley on what was supposed to be a routine recon. Dad, Colonel Harlan Hawk Voss, the golden boy of the Pentagon's brass, had fed me the intel himself. Trust me, kiddo, he'd said over steak at the officers' club, his eyes twinkling like he was passing down the family Bible. This ops your ticket to captain. Make me proud.
Lies.
All of it. The coordinates were bogus, laced with his side deal, selling targeting data to private contractors who flipped it to the highest bidder. Enemy lines. Troop movements, my team's blueprint for an ambush. We walked into a kill zone because Harlan Voss needed to launder blood money for his gambling debts and that mistress tucked away in a DC
condo.
I wiped my mouth, splashed water on my face, and met my own eyes in the mirror, green as sea glass. Scarred, now only by the ghosts I carried.
Nova voice.
Class valedictorian. Top of the midshipmen in hand-to-hand and marksmanship. The girl everyone called Ice Queen because I didn't crack under pressure. If only they knew the pressure cooker I'd become. This time, I wouldn't just survive the betrayal. I'd dismantle it, brick by corrupt brick. Starting with the man who raised me on stories of American grit while plotting to bury me in it. Annapolis in May buzzed like a hive on steroids, midshipmen in whites dashing between exams. Plebes scrubbing decks till their knuckles bled. The air thick with salt from the Severn River and the faint rot of Chesapeake Bay oysters from the mess hall. I slipped into my routine like a ghost haunting its own life. PT at dawn. Running the yard till my lungs burned. Sparring in the gym where Coach Ramirez still barked.
Voss.
Quit dancing and hit like you mean it.
I did mean it now.
Every punch landed with the weight of that valley. Every shadow drill a rehearsal for the reckoning. But revenge isn't a solo op, it's a network. First target, my best friend, Mia Caldwell. In the old timeline, she'd been my rock through BUD/S hell. The one who patched my wounds after quals and whispered, "You're unbreakable."
Nova.
Bullshit. She'd sold me out to Dad for a spot in his alumni network, tipping him off about my doubts on that final mission. Just looking out for you, she'd coo later, but her eyes would dart like a cornered rat. I found her in the wardroom that afternoon, hunched over a stack of evals, her blonde ponytail swinging as she laughed at some plebes joke.
Nova.
There you are. Spill. What's with the zombie vibe? You look like you saw your own ghost. She grinned. All dimples and deception. I forced a smile. The kind that didn't reach my eyes. Rough night. Dreams about the future. You know, the kind where everything goes to shit. I slid into the seat across from her, casual as a chat about weather. Hey, speaking of, Dad called last night. Wants me to shadow him on a consult after grad. Some private sector gig. Sounded shady as hell. Her fork paused midair. Salad dripping vinaigrette. Shady? Harlan Voss? Come on. He's a legend. Probably just networking. Yeah? He mentioned you. Said you'd be perfect for it too. Loyal kid. Keeps her mouth shut. I watched her pupils dilate. That telltale flicker. Hook set. Mia's laugh came too quick. Brittle. Me? I'd kill for that.
But.
You think it's legit? Let's find out. I pulled out my phone. The burner I'd snagged from a campus shop. Untraceable. Off the grid. Record this. For posterity. Before she could blink. I hit dial on Dad's direct line.
Speaker on.
It rang twice.
Nova boogie.
Early bird gets the worm. What's cooking?
Dad.
About that consult. Mia's here. Thought she'd love to hear the details. I nudged the phone her way. Eyes locked on hers. Silence stretched like a tripwire. Then his voice. Smooth as bourbon. Mia?
Huh.
Smart girl. Yeah. It's gold. Off-books training for some execs. NDA's thicker than your mom's apple pie. But keep it zipped. Ladies. Loose lips sink her ears. Mia's face drained of color. But she nodded like a bobblehead.
Sir.
Zipped. We hung up. And I pocketed the phone.
See? Shady.
But hey. Your funeral if you want in. I stood, leaving her staring at her plate like it held the secrets of the universe. Step 1. Plant the seed of doubt. Let her squirm. Wonder if I'm onto her. In the old life, she'd confessed on her deathbed, cancer. Ironic as hell, whispering apologies as I held her hand in Walter Reed. This time, she'd crack early. Or not. Either way, she'd serve as bait. Nights blurred into strategy sessions in my head, mapping the op like a wet deck op, intel gather, infiltrate, exfil with the prize. Dad's secrets weren't just debts, they were a syndicate. Back then, I'd uncovered fragments, wire transfers to shell companies, meetings with lobbyists who greased wheels for defense contracts. He'd framed it as necessary evils when I confronted him post-mission, right before the sniper's round painted the rocks red. War's dirty.
Nova.
You were collateral. But hey, your sacrifice? Heroes welcome. The bastard toasted me at my empty funeral. I started small, hacking his emails from a library terminal, using the backdoor I'd memorized from my future self's playbook. Password? My birthday. The sentimental prick. Inboxes overflowed with red flags, consults with Blackwater remnants, bids on Afghan lithium mines that smelled like insider trading. One thread gutted me, a draft eulogy for me, dated weeks before the op. My daughter, the patriot who gave all. Fucker had scripted my death. By week's end, I had a dossier thicker than a JAG file. But proof wasn't enough. I needed witnesses. Enter Lieutenant J.G. Elias Eli Thorne, the quiet intel weena from my old team. Skinny kid with glasses like bottle caps, but a savant at SIGINT. In the timeline 1, he died shielding me from that sniper. Last words a garbled Voss. Trap. This loop. I'd save him early. I cornered him after tactics class, the room still humming with projector fans.
Thorn.
Walk with me. No, please.
No bullshit.
He fell in step. Backpack slung low. Ma'am, Midshipman Voss. What's up? You're good with patterns. I need you to spot one. I handed him a USB drive, encrypted with my old seal override. Don't open it here.
Dorm.
Midnight.
And Eli?
If you ghost me, I'll know. He swallowed hard but nodded. Midnight found us in his shoebox room. Screens glowing blue. Files unspooled. Transfers. Memos. A voice clip of Dad haggling with a Karachi fixer. The girls' team takes the hit. Clean sweep. No traces. Eli's face went the color of chow hall oatmeal. This is Colonel Voss? Your dad? Jesus. Nova. Treason?
Worse.
Profiteering on American graves. I leaned in. Voice steel. You in? Or you want to pretend this is fanfic? He pushed up his glasses, fingers trembling on the keyboard.
In.
For the team we could have been. We burned the night forging a plan, leaked to Jag anonymously. But not yet. First, graduation, the public stage where Dad would shine. Parading his prodigy daughter before twisting the knife. In the old life, he'd cornered me post-ceremony, slurring Scotch fumes. Seals? Pathetic dream for a skirt. Stick to desks.
Nova.
I'd laughed it off, chasing glory to prove him wrong. This time, I'd make him eat those words. Live and in Technicolor. As commencement loomed, tension coiled like a spring in my gut.
Me avoided me.
Eyes darting in the halls. Dad's calls turned syrupy. Probing. Excited for the big day. Bug? Got a surprise. Yeah.
I bet.
Eli fed me scraps, more dirt. A Cayman account with 7 figures. But the real hook was the captain, Admiral Reyes, the no-nonsense Latina who'd pinned my trident in the future, right before the world went dark. She'd been Dad's rival, passed over for promotion because he knew people. If I could flip her. I requested a private audience, citing family concerns. She met me in her office overlooking the yard, walls lined with citations and a faded photo of her boot camp days.
Voss.
Your evals are flawless. What's eating you? I didn't flinch. Laid it out, the files, the recordings, the sniper shadow. Her jaw set like granite. If this is true, Harlan Voss is done. But proof. Midshipman. Ironclad. By grad day.
Mom.
And one more thing. I slid a folder across my forged path. Accelerated. Bud/S waiver. Direct to Team 6 quals. I want lead on the cleanup op. His network. Make me the blade. Reyes eyed me. Then the folder. Bold. Reckless. American. She stamped it approved. Don't fuck it up. Voss. Graduation dawned gray and thunderous. The dome of the chapel piercing low clouds like a middle finger to the gods. Ranks of whites filled the seats. Families in the stands, moms dabbing tears, dads snapping pics. I marched with my class, saber at my side, feeling the weight of timelines pressing down. There he was. 3rd row, Harlan Voss. Chest puffed with medals that meant Jack now. Grinning like he'd invented glory. The speeches droned. Superintendent on duty.
Honor.
The Republic. My turn. Valedictorian. 2 minutes to torch the bridge. I gripped the podium, scanning the sea of faces, landing on Dad's smug nod. Fellow midshipmen. Families.
Friends.
Today we step from shadows into light. But light demands truth. It exposes the rot, the deals cut in backrooms, the lives bartered for promotions.
I've seen it.
Lived it. Gasps rippled. Mia's head snapped up from the wings. We don't serve men. We serve the oath. And when betrayal wears the uniform, we cut it out. I stepped back to thunderous applause and confusion. Whispers like shrapnel. Then the captain, Reyes, unscripted, took the mic. Her voice boomed over the PA, Midshipman Nova Voss. For extraordinary valor in exposing corruption at the highest levels, and in recognition of her proven leadership in classified simulations. She paused, eyes locking on mine. You are hereby commissioned and assigned as lead instructor for the incoming SEAL officer assessment and selection. Effective immediately. She leads the SEALs. The yard erupted. Cheers. Stunned silence from the brass section. Dad's face, so.
God.
That face crumbled from pride to pulp. Mouth agape as I strode past, chin high. He surged forward post-ceremony, suit rumpled, breath hot with denial. Nova, what the hell was that? You think you can save it?
Colonel.
I turned, crowd parting like the Red Sea.
Elit lankerme.
USB in hand, Mia hovered, pale as surrender. Jag's suits materialized from the shadows. Reyes is doing. You're under investigation. Obstruction. Fraud. Conspiracy to commit murder. That sniper? We traced the wire. Karachi to your Cayman slush fund. His eyes bulged, metals jingling as cuffs clicked on. You little bitch. I made you.
No.
Dad. You broke me. This. I nodded to the academy, the flag snapping in the wind. This remakes me. As they hauled him away, cameras flashing like artillery, I felt the loop close, not with blood, but with justice's cold bite. But twists, they say, are the devil's punctuation. Mia sidled up, voice a whisper, Nova. I knew. About the op. He promised. Shut up. But I didn't let Jag take her. Not yet. Testify. Full truth. Or you're next. She nodded. Tears carving tracks. Collateral. Maybe. But redemption's a chain reaction. That night, in my empty dorm, whites folded for the last time, I cracked a beer from Dad's care package, the irony bitter on my tongue. Bud/S awaited. Hell week my baptism anew. Eli knocked, awkward with a six-pack. To second chances? To first strikes. We clinked, the storm breaking outside. Lightning forked the sky, illuminating the path ahead. Takedowns, trials. A captain's bars I'd earn clean. Harlan Voss would rot in Leavenworth, his empire ash. And me?
Nova Voice.
The Ice Queen thawed and tempered. Leading the SEALs wasn't revenge. It was resurrection. But as thunder rolled, a final echo from the grave, his voice. Pre-sniper. Laughing. You're just like me.
Nova.
Ruthless.
Was I?
The line blurred in the rain-lashed window. Maybe. But this time, I'd wield it for the light. Bud/S hit like a freight train doped on steroids. Coronado's sands grinding into my soul from the get-go. Log PT at Odark 30. Surf torture, where Pacific waves clawed you under like vengeful X's. And the instructors, gods in wetsuits, barking orders that stripped egos to bone.
Voss.
You call that a flutter kick? My grandma swims faster. Chief Hale bellowed, his voice a chainsaw over the roar. In the old timeline, I'd aced it, grit forged in Dad's shadow pushing me through the quits. This loop, it was therapy, Each burpee a fuck you to the man who tried to drown me in his sins. Eli couldn't join, desk jockey to the core, but he wired intel from DC, feeding me updates on the fallout. Dad's arraignment made headlines. Pentagon colonel accused of treason in daughter's expose. Pundits on Fox and CNN dissected it like a frog in bio lab. One side crowing whistleblower hero, the other sneering, daddy's girl vendetta. Mia testified, spilling like a punctured hydrant, how he'd groomed her as a mole, dangling internships and family access. He said Nova was unstable, a liability. She'd sobbed on the stand, eyes avoiding mine. Jag ate it up, charges stacked like Jenga, RICO violations, wire fraud, even manslaughter for the team we'd lost. I wrote letters to their families from the grinder. Anonymous through Eli. Your son died a hero. The truth's coming. No details. Just enough to seed hope. Sleep came in snatches. Haunted by valley ghosts, PFC Ramirez's laugh cut short.
LT.
Kane's final gasp. But I channeled it, leading boat crews with a ferocity that earned whispers. Voss ain't human. She's payback incarnate. 3 weeks in. Hell Week peaked. 200 hours of nonstop wet and sandy. Hallucinations dancing at the edges. I was boat crew lead. For guys paddling an IBS through breakers that'd swallow lesser souls. O'Leary. A Boston brick shithouse. Cracked first, vomiting bile. Muttering about quitting for his girl's cooking. Push.
O'Leary.
I snarled, slamming my paddle like a war axe. You quit. They win. The cowards who bet on our graves. He glared, salt-crusted and feral. What the fuck you on about? Voss. Life's so rigged up. Fight or fold. We crested the wave. Boat intact. He didn't ring the bell. Neither did I. By dawn, Reyes's chopper touched down, unannounced brass inspection. She strode the beach in civvies, sunglasses hiding judgment. Report. Instructor Voss. 5 crews down.
Mom.
2 quits. The rest? Forged. My voice cracked from salt and screams. But I stood tall. She nodded. Then low. Trial starts next month. Voss's pushing for bail. Says it's a family spat. Her lip curled. You testify? Wouldn't miss it. I saluted. The ocean wind whipping us both. As she lifted off, I felt the noose tighten, not mine, his. Back east for the hearing. I traded sand for suits, flying coach to save Uncle Sam's dime. Arlington hummed with summer heat, tourists snapping pics at the tomb while I slipped into the courthouse. Anonymous in jeans and a hoodie. Dad looked smaller in orange jumpsuit, jowls sagging like melted wax. His lawyer, a silver-haired shark named Whitaker, spun yarns, a father's tough love. Misinterpreted. No malice. Your Honor, just military rigor. Bullshit detector blared. When they called me, I took the stand steady, hand on the Bible like it was a grenade pin. Colonel Voss didn't love tough. Your Honor. He loved leverage. The op intel? Falsified for profit. My team's deaths? Collateral in his casino run. I detailed the sniper, ballistics from Eli's forensics. The Karachi trace. Dad's eyes bore holes. Pleading silent. Don't do this. Bug. Whitaker cross-examined. Oily. MS. Voss. Isn't this resentment? A daughter's grudge over high standards. I leaned into the mic. Voice amplified for the gallery, reporters. Old brass. Mia in the back row twisting a tissue. Standards? He set mine by example. Betray your blood for a buck. That's not a grudge.
Counselor.
That's a lesson learned. The judge, a grizzled vet with a Purple Heart scar, banged gavel on remand. No bail. Dads snarl as they let him out. You'll regret this.
Nova.
Blood's thicker. Not yours, I shot back. Gallery murmur swelled. A post-stringer cornered me outside. Off record. Was it always this bad? Worse. I walked away, the weight lifting like fog off the bay. Coronado reclaimed me. Qualls ramping to boat races and dive qualls. But the syndicate lingered. Dad's web of contractors. Lobbyists. Ixis books. Eli's pings escalated. Targets ID'd. First, Victor Lang. Blackwater alum. Meeting in Quantico next week. I finagled leave. Reyes signing off with a wink. Make it count. Voss. Quantico's ranges echoed as I tailed Lang. Bearded merc type. Barking orders at a private training gig. My kit. Concealed Glock. Wire from Eli's kit. And balls of steel. I cornered him post-session. In the shadow of mock CQB houses.
Lang.
We need to talk, Voss. He spun. Hand twitching to hip. Who the fuck? Nova Voss. The daughter he tried to erase. I flashed the dossier on my phone, his payouts.
Signed. Jag Sischling.
Testify. Or you're the next domino. Sweat beaded his brow. Eyes darting like a cornered wolf. Kid. You don't know the game. Harlan's small fry. The real players.
Spill.
Or I pulled a thread here. My hand hovered near the Glock. Not drawing, just promise. He deflated. Spilling. A cabal of vets turned fixers. Peddling secrets to Saudis and Russians. Dad's cut?
Peanuts.
The head? Senator Hale Whitaker, same last name as the lawyer. Nephew. Twist like a bayonet. I relayed to Eli. Then Reyes. It's bigger. Political. Her response crackled over secure line. Then we go high. Washington's next. Fall leaves turn DC. Gold as I infiltrated the belly. Reyes pulling strings for a consult at the Hill. Suits and smiles hid knives. I played aide, shadowing Whitaker the lawyer at a fundraiser. Caviar and Chardonnay flowed. Paul's schmoozing like hyenas. Lang's intel burned in my earpiece. Senator's box. Second floor. I ghosted up, blending with waitstaff. There, Whitaker Sr., silver fox with a hawk nose, toasting donors. To American enterprise, securing our edges abroad. Hypocrite. I spilled a tray near his table, oysters sliding, chaos blooming. As he cursed, I knelt, whispering, Senator.
Nova voice.
Your family's game ends now. He froze. Napkin mid-dab. Security. Has your emails. The Voss pipeline. Afghan data to Moscow via proxies. 20 bodies on that ledger. Including mine almost. I slid a burner phone under his chair. Recordings. Timestamps.
Resign.
Testify. Or Leavenworth's got a family suite. His face purpled. Veins throbbing. You insolent. Patriot. I vanished into the crowd. Heart hammering. By morning. Headline screamed. Senator Whitaker steps down amid scandal. Dad's trial ballooned. Co-conspirators flipping like pancakes. But payback's a serpent. It coils back. Mid-qual. A package arrived at base. Dad's scrawl on the label. Inside, my old Trident pin.
Bent.
Note. You're breaking us. Nova. But blood calls blood. Chills spidered my spine. Was it threat? Plea? Hell Week 2 loomed, but doubt gnawed. O'Leary cornered me post-run. Voss.
You good?
Look like you saw the Reaper.
Worse.
Family. I confessed fragments. Betrayal. The loop unspoken. He clapped my shoulder.
Boston Brogitik, Fiki.
We got your 6. That night. Waves crashing like applause. I surfaced from a dive. Lungs fire. Reyes called. Good work.
Voss. Cabal's crumbling.
But intel says retaliation hit on you. Bring it. Adrenaline surged. The fight wasn't over, it was just heating up. Winter gripped Coronado like a vice. Winds off the Pacific slicing through wetsuits as we hammered 4-mile beach runs, boots pounding wet sand into submission. The hit came subtle, a tail on my grocery run to the commissary. Black SUV idling too long at the light. Ex-spook vibes. Whitaker's cleanup crew. I ditched them in the surf shop crowds. Circling back to clock the plates. Virginia tags. Diplomatic cover. Moscow's fingerprints. Courtesy of the senator's old pals. Reyes escalated. Voss. You're off quals. Protective custody till.
No. Mum.
I cut her off mid-briefing. Standing in her glass-walled office overlooking the grinder. They want me scared? I'll be the storm. She relented. Assigning a shadow. Petty Officer Reyes, her nephew. Ironically, a wiry Filipino kid with sniper eyes and a grin like trouble. Call me Jax, he said over chow. Stabbing at mystery meat. Auntie says you're the real deal. What's the play? Draw fire. Flush the rats. We mapped it. Mia's bait at a dive bar off base. The kind where SEAL hopefuls drown failures in cheap tequila. Jax in the rafters. Eli piping drone feed from a safe house. Mia checked in too, probationary now. Feeding scraps from her DC. Network. They're panicking. Nova. Your dad's singing, naming names to shave time.
Good.
Let him. But unease festered. The loop had sharpened me. But cracks showed, nightmares of the valley bleeding into PT hallucinations. Dad's laugh morphing with Taliban taunts. Was I avenging? Or unraveling? The bar thrummed that Friday, neon buzzing. Jukebox blaring Springsteen. Air thick with fry grease and regret. I nursed a cores. Hoodie up. Playing lone wolf. Jax's text pinged. 2 bogeys. 2,100 hours.
Armed.
Heart rate steady. I slipped out back. Alley reeking of dumpsters and desperation. Footsteps echoed. 2 goons. Buzz cuts and tactical pants. One muttering Cyrillic into a comms. MS. Voss. The taller grunted. Accent like gravel. Walk away from this. Family business. I palmed the knife from my boot, ceremonial. But sharp as intent. Family? Tell Whitaker Sr. His empire's toxic. One leak. And it's fallout. They lunged. I sidestepped. Knee to groin on the first. Elbow cracking the second's nose. Jax dropped from the fire escape like judgment, zip-tying them as sirens wailed. Clean, he panted, cuffing the leader. Feds en route. Interrogation yielded gold. Direct line to a Kremlin cutout. Whitaker's pension plan. By dawn. Arrests rippled. 3 more cabal links. Dad's cell suddenly chatty. But the twist gutted me. Forensics on the goons' phones pulled a file. My obit draft. Dad's handwriting. Not just collateral. He'd greenlit the sniper personally. Protect the asset, the memo read.
Me?
The asset? Or the threat? Trial day loomed.
DC.
Courtroom, a pressure cooker of suits and stinks sweat. Cologne. The faint ozone of TV lights. Gallery packed. Victims' families glaring daggers. Reporters like sharks scenting chum. Dad shuffled in. Gaunt in chains. Eyes hollowed by months in the hole. When he saw me, flanked by Reyes and Eli, he mouthed, "Bug."
Sorry.
Rage iced my veins. Prosecution called me first. LT. Voss. Describe the op. I did. Clinical. Coordinates. Ambush. Bodies. Then the personal. He called it in himself.
Weak link, he said. Me.
Exhibits flashed. Wires. Memos. The sniper suppressed M24 photo from Eli's hack. Defense wheeled Dad up. Voice a rasp. Nova. I did it for us. Deaths from your mom's chemo. Liar. Mom's cancer had been real. But he'd gambled the settlement away pre-diagnosis. I objected. Voice cracking for the first time. You profited off graves. Dad. Mine included. Cross hit hard. Whitaker Jr. Painting me as traumatized fabulist, dredging old psych evals from the academy. Adjustment issues post-divorce. The gallery shifted. A victim's mom whispered. Slut-shaming the hero. Controversy brewed. Headlines twisting. Seal stars daddy drama. Revenge or reality? But Reyes testified next. Brass polish gleaming. Voss's intel saved lives. Multiple. Colonel Voss's actions? Endemic rot. Then the flippers. Lang. Sweating bullets, Mia. Voice steady. He coerced me. Threatened my career. Jury deliberated 2 days torture.
I kissed Elias' apartment. DC.
Rain lashing windows like accusations. What if they buy the sob story? Eli adjusted his glasses. Calm as code. Facts don't lie. Neither do you. Verdict dropped like a gavel bomb. Guilty. All counts. Life.
No parole.
Dad's wail echoed as they let him out. Nova. I loved you.
Loved.
Past tense.
Fitting.
Post-trial high faded fast, qualls resumed. But whispers dogged me. Voss got her old man locked up. Cold. O'Leary defended. Fists ready. She saved asses. Eat it. But isolation crept. Jax became my sounding board. Late-night runs turning confessional. Loop back. Feels like cheating fate. I admitted once. Waves crashing. He shrugged, breath fogging the dawn. Fate's a bitch. You just kicked her teeth in. Promotion came swift. Full lieutenant. Team 6 billet. Reyes pinned the bars herself. Beachside ceremony under gulls and gray skies. To Nova Voss, leader. Not follower. Cheers rose. But my mind snagged on the empty chair, Mom's. If she'd lived. Dad's shadow lingered. A stain no bleach touched. Then the op. Dismantle the remnants. Reyes greenlit Operation Echo. My baby. Raiding a safe house in Fairfax tied to Whitaker's overseas assets. Night drop. Blacked out hello. My team. O'Leary on breacher. Jax overwatch. Eli virtual eyes. Adrenaline sang as we fast-roped. Boots silent on dew-slick grass. Intel said 2 guards. Minimal arms.
Lie.
Ambush. Auto fire stitching the dark. Rounds chewing bark. Contact left. I barked. Returning suppressed 9mm. Dropping the shooter. O'Leary kicked the door. Flashbangs blooming white. Inside, servers humming. A techie scrambling for a burner. Down, Jax ziplined him. But the real prize, hard drives, encrypted with Cabal ledgers, proof of a dozen ops like Dad's. Exfil smooth.
Du en route. Hopper kom skratsklet LT.
Voss comms.
Urgent.
Eli's voice.
Strainet nova. Twist.
One more player. Your mom. Heart seized. Mom, dead 5 years. What? Files from the raid, her signature on a transfer. Pre-cancer.
She knew.
Covered for him. The chopper dipped. World tilting. Mom sane in my memory. Baking cookies through chemo, complicit? Forged? No time. We landed hot. Feds swarming the drives. Back at base. I cracked the decrypt solo. Jax guarding the door. There, emails. Her loop. Harlan. The debts, use the consults. For Nova's future. She'd enabled. Thinking it armor for me. Twist deeper. Her suicide post-diagnosis? Staged overdose. Guilt's blade. Tears hot. I burned the printout. Blood thicker. All right. Poisoned well. Spring thawed the base. But frost clung to my bones as qualls wrapped, trident ceremony a blur of salt spray toasts and backslaps. O'Leary hoisted me on shoulders. To the queen who slayed dragons, laughter echoed. But mine rang hollow. Mom's ghost loomed larger than Dad's. Her complicity a mirror cracking my reflection. Had the loop just amplified the rot? Or revealed it? Eli urged therapy. PTSD's a sneaky fucker, but I ran it out. Miles blurring the edges. Operation Echo's harvest hit the hill like a bunker buster. Indictments cascading. From senators to CEOs. Whitaker Sr. ate his Glock in a Virginia motel. Headline screamed, suicide or silence. His note a blank taunt. Dad wrote from Leavenworth. Smuggled via a guard Mia bribed. She chose me over you. Bug. Always did. We're the survivors. I shredded it. Flames dancing in my ashtray like victory sparks. But survival's Pyrrhic, the controversy peaked. A 60-minute segment painted me as the avenging angel, hero or hysteric? Clips of Dad's courtroom plea. My testimony intercut with psych notes. Social media ignited Voss Vendetta trending. Trolls dubbing me Seal Siren with photoshopped tridents over serpents. Protests outside the Pentagon. Vets waving signs. Family over files versus. Gold Star moms chanting. Justice for the fallen. Reyes pulled me aside post-brief. You're a lightning rod. Voss. Brass wants you sidelined. Cool off in Alaska. Fuck that. I paced her office. Fists clenched. This is the fight. Let him come.
She sighed. On dîne dossier.
Then lead it. New billet. Congressional liaison. Clean house from inside.
DC.
Swallowed me whole. Capitol corridors a maze of marble and malice. Aides scurrying like roaches. My office. Windowless closet. Stacked with briefs on reform. First hearing. House Armed Services. Grilling me on echoes over each. Chairman. A Texas drawl named Harlan. Irony's joke. Leaned in. LT. Voss. You destroyed careers.
Good men.
Was it worth the blood? I met his gaze. Unflinching. The blood was already spilled.
Sir.
In valleys and boardrooms. I just traced it back to the vein. Gasps. Applause from the demo seats. Testimony flowed. Victim's kin. Flipper Mercs. Even a Russian defector via video link. Voss exposed what we buried, he droned, accent thick. Media frenzy peaked. Oprah wanted an interview. I declined, opting for a pod with a vet host who got it. Revenge?
Nah.
Reckoning.
Mi-a resurfacet.
Clean now, probation lifted, interning at DOJ. Coffee at a foggy bottom cafe. Her hand steady. I owe you.
Nova.
For not burying me. You earned it. Barely. We talked loops, not mine, but hers. Guilt cycle. Help me end it. For real. She nodded. Sliding a thumb drive. Last thread. Offshore server. Dad's final ace, insurance on you. I cracked it that night. Alone in my Georgetown walk-up. Wine glass, sweating on the desk. Files unspooled. Surveillance logs. From academy days to the valley. He'd watch me always, cameras in dorms?
No.
Worse. Bribes to shrinks. Evals doctored to prove my instability. The twist's gut punch. A paternity test. Buried deep. Negative. I wasn't his blood. Mom's affair. Preemie, a one night with a plebe who died in Granada. Harlan knew. Raised me as leverage. My legacy. Or my curse. Rage crusted. Then ebbed to numb. Not his. Freedom. Or fraud. I forwarded it to Jag. Addendum to his file. Let him stew in the lie he'd lived. Summer brought the pinnacle. SEAL command course. Virginia pines whispering as I drilled greenhorns. Kids with fire in their eyes. Echoes of my old team.
Voss.
Flank left now. I barked. M4 barking back in live fire.
Oleari.
Now my XO. Grinned mid-maneuver. Boss. You run this like you own it.
Ido.
Post-drill. Bonfire crackled. Stories swapping like ammo. Jax shared a brew. Heard about the test. Changes shit. Changes everything. Nothing. I stared into flames. I'm Voss. That's enough. Word spread, leaks from Leavenworth. Dad's breakdown. Ranting about stolen daughters. His appeal tanked. Solitary swallowed him. Mia's wedding invite arrived, simple. To a analyst at Langley. I RSVP'd yes. +1, Eli. Awkward in a tie. The ceremony. Backyard in Alexandria. String lights twinkling. She hugged me fierce. You gave me this. Pay it forward. As she danced. I slipped away. Calling Reyes. Ma'am. One last stop. Name it. Visit. Leavenworth loomed brutal, concrete and coils. Midwest flatlands, mocking mercy. Clearance granted. I entered the booth. Plexiglass smudged. Dad shuffled in. Shackles clinking. Face a roadmap of ruin, gray stubble. Eyes sunk in pits. Nova. His voice. A croak. You came. Closure. I pressed the intercom.
The test.
I know. He deflated. Chains rattling. Granada boy.
Flashy.
Your mom. Weak moment. But I raised you. Made you strong. Twisted me. Silence stretched. Why the sniper? Really? Tears tracked his cheeks. Fat and final. You were close. The files. If you blew it. Everything gone. Including you as mine. Monster. But pity flickered. Man's unraveling. Rot here.
Dad.
Alone. As guards let him out. He twisted back. Proud. Bug. In the end. Lies to the grave. I walked out into Kansas sun. Air sweet with grass. No tears.
Just done.
Back to command. The team thrived. Ops clean.
Nosa dos. Promotion toelte.
CMDR. Whispered. Reyes hinted Admiral Track. Controversy faded to legend. The Voss Reckoning. Case study in West Point ethics. I mentored Mia's kid brother. A plebe with green eyes like mine. Fight smart.
Kid.
Family's what you build. One dawn run. Pacific Horizon pink. O'Leary jogged up. Boss. Letter from him. Dad's scrawl. Final. Forgive?
Nah.
But remember, we both won. Survived. I burned it. Ashes scattering on waves. The loop closed not with thunder, but tide, ebbing clean.
Nova voice.
Leader of seals, not by blood or betrayal, but bone-deep will. America's grit?
Mine now.
Unbreakable. Twists echo. In the valley's dream that night, ghosts saluted.
Mom too.
Smiling soft. My girl. Free. And I ran toward dawn.